Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Angie the Bookaholic. I hope you all had a great holiday season and a very happy new year to all of you who have tuned in here today. Today I'm coming to you with my favorite, like top 10 books of 2022. This list will include books from different genres, like it could be fantasy, it could be science fiction, horror, thriller, and non-fiction, because these are the topmost genres that I usually read. Without further ado, let's get into it. Before I get into top 10, I have two honorable mentions. These are books that I really enjoyed, but I just couldn't shortlist them into the top 10. And one is The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Herrick. This was a buddy read with Chaz from Bookish Chaz. I had a great time reading it. It is book one of a trilogy, and I am really looking forward to reading The Liar's Knot. And the second honorable mention is Magpie Murders. I really liked it in the sense that it was not a great mystery as such or a thriller as such, but I liked the structure of the book. It's a book within a book, story within a story, and I really liked how all that unfolded and then came together at the end. With that done, now let's get into the top 10. At number 10 is Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. Fredrik Backman is a Swedish author, so I read the book obviously in English. The book is about a bank robbery which went really wrong. A bank robber once is inside the bank and demanding money, realizes that it's a completely digital bank and panics and runs into a nearby building to avoid capture and goes into an apartment which is open for apartment viewing and full of people, prospective buyers. And the bank robber enters with a gun in hand, and these prospective buyers already in the apartment think that they are being held hostage. And all these people inside the apartment, they have different characters, different backgrounds and motives and agendas, and the rest of the story is how all they come together, face a particular weird, unique situation. I like this book especially for its witty humor and how this situation was used and managed by these people, these conflicting characters, to solve an issue, to help a fellow human being. It was a very positive story showing how we as humans can come together and solve a situation despite our different backgrounds and different personalities. And that's why I like this book. Oh, and I also wouldn't recommend you to look up any of the synopsis, especially the one on Wikipedia, because it kind of gives away a mystery that the author had kept under the wraps until later in the story, which was kind of a nice surprise for me. And I'm happy that I didn't read any of the synopsis and just went in blindly into this book. So please don't read any of the synopsis. It's an interesting book. Go ahead and read it. You will like it. 2022 is a year that I discovered my new favorite thriller author, which is Alice Feeney. So number 9 is Rock, Paper, Scissors. The story starts with Adam and Amelia, a married couple who are traveling to the Scottish Highland on a vacation trip. And this trip is something that Amelia won as a reward in an office contest. And also this trip is a last attempt by the two of them to save their sinking marriage. Once they reach there, they realize that this place is super creepy and isolated and there is nobody to welcome them. They just go inside, start exploring the place and settle in, and then strange things start happening. They start hearing weird noises, the power switches off on its own, creepy faces in the window, and they are super creeped out. And the only other human being is a woman who is living with her dog in a nearby cabin, and she as well is elusive and mysterious. And the story is mind-boggling. The reveal was jaw-dropping. I really loved twisty reveals. It took me a long time after finishing the book for me to untangle from that twisty situation. It was really a pleasure reading a fantastic thriller. Alice Feeney is really talented and she knows how to, do her reveals. She knows how to build the story up. I forgot to mention, and this guy Adam, he has issue with the face recognition. So he has face blindness, so he cannot recognize, friends and families, nobody, right? So that's a very important point in the story, a plot point in the story. So that's number 9, Alice Feeney's Rock, Paper, Scissors. At number 8 is Ponniyin Selvan. So embarrassingly enough, the first time that I heard about this book was when the movie adaptation was being made, and there were a lot of talks about, Mani Ratnam making this movie, and somebody mentioned that this is based on a book. I decided that I will watch the movie only after I have read the books, at least the first couple of books which movie number 1 covers. PS1 is a historical fiction. It tells the story of Emperor Rajaraja Chola, who was the emperor of the Chola Empire, which ruled most of southern part of India in the 10th century. And book number 1, which is called Fresh Floods or Puduvellam, is basically told from the perspective of Vandiyathevan, who is a protagonist for book 1, who is a close associate of Arulmozhivarman, one of the princes of the Chola Empire, and his journey across the empire, while he's carrying a very secret message for the prince, or he's carrying out a secret mission for the prince. The story is complex. There are many nuanced characters with their own personal and political agenda, a lot of palace drama, ravishing, beautiful ladies with their own mysterious intentions. Basically, a whole bunch of mysteries and great reveals that keep you engaged. It is an overall entertainment package. Guys, if you really want to read a great Indian historical fiction, then pick up Ponniyin Selvan, which is at number 8 in my list. At number 7, I have a problem because I want to talk about one of the books in the Robin Hobb's Realm of the Elderling series. I just finished Madship, so that's where I am with the series, and I am really confused of which book I want to put into this list. I think I will go with Madship because of recency bias mostly, but at the same time, I think the story has built up into a place where I am so intrigued. I'm so involved. It is so emotional. Of course, I liked the first series, the Farseer trilogy. I think I like this book the most out of all the 5 books that I've read in the series so far. Robin Hobb is such a masterful writer. She knows to build beautiful characters, even non-human characters. I really liked the animal companions in this book, in this series, basically, not this book, but in this series. But I don't know, I can keep going on and on about this whole series for hours together. I was so confused of which book to pick, Ship of Magic or Madship, or should I pick up something from the Farseer trilogy, but then I decided to go with Madship because that's what is fresh in my memory. So at number 7 is Madship by Robin Hobb. At number 6 is another book that I recently finished reading, which is Ships of Merior by Janie Wirtz. This is book number 2 in the Wars of Light and Shadow series, which is a read-along that I'm hosting in my channel. We have a live stream upcoming this Saturday. I will put up the details very soon. Together with the author and Blaze and P.L. Stewart, we'll be discussing ships in that live stream. I really love Janie Wirtz's writing. To be frank, I have to admit, because I'm a non-native speaker of English, it was kind of difficult for me initially to get into the rhythm of Janie's writing or Janie's style of writing. I understand that she does that deliberately, especially with non-native speakers. She has mentioned that, usually it's the non-native speakers who appreciate her books much more than native speakers because, we have to look up words and take time to understand the passages and the sentences, so we relate and understand the book much better. Maybe that's true, I don't know, but I can only speak for myself, and I absolutely love this series. There are so many characters that remind me of characters from Malazan as well. The world that she built is definitely dark and dreary, but I definitely can see hope coming. I hope. It's a different experience from the other fantasy books that I'm reading, especially particularly because of the way she writes her prose. At number 5 is my first ever Joe Abercrombie book, which is The Blade itself. I listened to it on audiobook as well as read it together, so basically immersion reading, and I was pulled into the book immediately because of Stephen Pacey's narration. I think he is the best in the business right now in terms of book narrators. I just cannot wait to get back to the series. Unfortunately, I was not able to continue it, but so far I really love it. Be it for Joe Abercrombie's wonderful gift of creating such a beautiful array of characters and great world building, or for the wonderful narration by Stephen Pacey. At number 4 is a book that I love dearly and I'm so proud of because it is written by an Indian author, Gaurav Mohanty, and I'm talking about Sons of Darkness. I came to know about this book through AP, from AP Kahneman's channel Critical Dragon. We were having a live stream and he happened to mention this book and said that it is a book that is high on his TBR, and I immediately bought that book and I started reading it along with Anita and Johanna, and we all of us really had a great time reading that book. This book is a retelling of Mahabharata. You will definitely see elements of Game of Thrones and Malazan and a little bit of Joe Abercrombie's world, the First Law world as well. But be cautious when you're expecting a retelling of Mahabharata and you start reading it. You might see some of your characters are not what they are in Mahabharata. The author has taken the creative liberty to give his own twist to these characters, not maliciously intended, but for making sure the story goes where he wants to. I was lucky enough to have a conversation with the author himself, Gaurav, together with Anita, Philip, and Joanna. From the discussion, I understood that there are some things that the author might have put in here and there throughout the book that we might have missed, which we are expected to pick up in the coming books, in the future books. So that made me think that maybe I should do a reread of the book. Let's see, because I had such a good time reading this book, so I might reread this book before book number 2 comes out. So that was Sons of Darkness by Gaurav Mohanty at number 4. At number 3 is The Girl in the Mirror by Rose Carlyle. Now, I wanted to put a thriller in the top 3 position. That's why I picked this one for number 3. So the story talks about this twins, beautiful ladies, and one of the twins, the younger one, Iris, she is kind of jealous of her the twin sister, because the twin sister is successful. She is married and settled to a very successful man, something that she wanted for herself, but that didn't quite pan out the way she expected. She is miserable and she is greedy. She is resentful towards her sister. While she is brooding like this, she receives a call from her sister and brother-in-law that they are somewhere in Southeast Asia and they need her help in sailing their ship or their yacht from there towards Seychelles, and because she is a superb sailor. So she agrees, she goes there, and she and her sister start on this journey towards Seychelles. And what ensues during that journey is an edge of the seat thriller. What made this book really, really stand out for me was the ending, especially the last paragraph. There is a twist that is literally written down in the last sentence. And I listened to this as an audiobook, and I was doing something in the kitchen. I think I was washing dishes or something, and I dropped the dish and I'm like, what? Did that really happen? Is that how she is going to end the book? That was kind of really, really, really jaw-dropping reveal. And that's how the book ended. So that's what made this book stand out, in terms of thrillers. But I have to warn that there might be a little bit of a slog in the middle. but that was definitely a great thriller read. I don't read many of non-fictions, but the top two position in this list have been allocated to non-fiction books. It was a surprise for me as well, but that's how it is. So at number two is Behave by Robert Sapolsky. This is a book that I buddy read with Joanna. Now, I really enjoyed this book. It's kind of bulky, chunky, very sciencey book, but I enjoyed reading this. I love the amount of knowledge that I gained from this book. This book talks about, it comes with a tagline which says the biology of humans at our best and worst. And that's what this book explores. Basically, it explores why we behave the way we do and how we do it, during our best and worst times. For example, there is this one paragraph in the introductory chapter where Robert Sapolsky says, we don't hate violence. We hate and fear the wrong kind of violence. Violence in the wrong context. Because violence in the right context is different. We pay good money to watch it in a stadium. We teach our kids to fight back. We feel proud when in creaky middle age we manage a dirty hip check in a weekend basketball game. Our conversations are filled with military metaphors. We rally the troop after our ideas get shot down. Our sports teams' names celebrate violence like warriors, Vikings, lions, tigers, and bears. We even think this way about something as cerebral as chess. Kasparov kept pressing for a murderous attack. So we build theologies around violence, elect leaders who excel at it, and in the case of so many women, preferentially mate with champions of human combat. When it's the right type of aggression, we love it. That was such an eye-opening chapter for me, and there are so many of them throughout this book, and I enjoyed every minute of reading this book. Definitely, I took my time reading it because I'm a slow reader, and especially when it comes to non-fiction, I take my time. So yeah, it was a lengthy read, but so satisfying, and that's why this is at number two in this list. At number one, drum rolls please, is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Now, yeah, this is a non-fiction book. I'm going to devour this book, even though it's just so tiny and so small, but it is just pure wisdom for me. And I think this book changed my life. Obviously, there is a lot of wisdom bites that we already know, that people commonly use, but at the same time, what really attracted me towards this book is that Marcus Aurelius, being an emperor, he wrote these words, these humbling, grounded words. If Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of the Roman Empire, if he can think this way, who am I to not to? For those of you who don't know what this book is about, this book basically is a collection of Marcus Aurelius's personal journal entries. My translation was by Gregory Hayes. I think it is one of the most recommended translations. That's why I went for this. I haven't done a separate review for this book. I will talk more about this book in my review. I have a lot to talk about it, and this is a book that has enlightened me to a new way of thinking, a new way of living. So that was number one book of 2022. Applause. If you're still here, thanks for watching till the end. If you like this video, please like, share, and comment. And if you did like it, please comment what you did like. And I will see you soon in another video. This is Angie signing off. Bye bye.